The Tommy Campbell Show. The air in Washington, D.C. got a break this week because Donald Trump left for China, taking his big boy pants overseas and leaving America with the bill. Before he went, he still found time to fall asleep in another meeting, tell the country he does not think about Americans' financial situation, call a reporter a dumb person, and then fly off to tell China about their restaurants abroad while his supporters finally anticipate delivery of their Trump phone, a foreign-made brick with a gold spray tan.
So what happened is we have a ballroom that's under budget. It's going up right here. I've doubled the size of it because we obviously need that. And we're right now on budget, under budget, and ahead of schedule. I doubled the size of it, you dumb person. It's double the size. You are not a smart person.
A reporter had the audacity to point out that the price of the new White House ballroom doubled from $200 million to $400 million, and his response is, "I doubled the size of it, you dumb person." His inner circle insists this man is charming. Is that the same charm that was back on display in November when he told a Bloomberg reporter to quiet Biggie because she asked about the Epstein files? This is a man who called Katie Rogers a third-rate reporter who is ugly on the inside and out, and told Mary Bruce she was a terrible person for asking about the Saudi crown prince. This is standard operating procedure for Donald Trump. This is how he treats the ladies when the camera is on. Imagine the behavior when it's not. 3 marriages.
American financial situation, I don't think about anybody. I think about one thing. We cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. That's all. That's the only thing we can do.
I don't think about Americans' financial situation. I don't think about anybody. I mean, he's building a ballroom and painting the reflecting pool, and the no-bid contract went to the same company that did his golf course in Virginia. And this is all happening while he's explicitly telling you that your bank account doesn't even enter the thought process.
The fertility crisis for women began in 2007. For men in 1970, men had twice the sperm count as our teenagers do today. This is an existential crisis for our country.
Going, gone. You know you have a problem when the sound of RFK Jr. puts you to sleep. That guy isn't exactly what I'd call lullaby material. You're not going to get a sleep sounds playlist on Spotify full of RFK Jr. speeches. Kids don't need vaccines. They need tanning beds, raw milk, and bear meat. I just love the ladies in their crosses trying to keep it together during all this sperm talk from the brainworms guy. Subscribe. Studies in the last few years have shown testosterone levels have gone down, but nowhere near what this toilet coke snorter is claiming. According to a 2022 review, sperm counts appeared to have fallen by just over 50% between 1973 and 2018. Experts say there's no evidence of the collapse he's describing. The results he notes are debated because counting methods and sample data is much better now. Technology's come a long way. A lot's changed since the 70s, and if young men have a lower count, it's probably because they're empty. I mean, everywhere we go, there's opportunities. They're so busy Peter Northing their gym socks since you don't need to quietly venture through the beaded curtain at the back of the video store anymore, because we all have access to everything ever made right on our phones. If you actually have a phone, because many are just getting their hands on Trump's now. Maybe. Good evening, I'm Tucker Carlson, and tonight I'd like to talk to you about the Trump Mobile T1. Because after a year of waiting, the fake gold status symbol you flash at the food court while calling your mom to pick you up is finally shipping. The marketing materials for the T1 said it was designed with American values. What does that even mean? Values? We're told they're American. But who's America and which values? GoFundMe is a primary healthcare provider. Mass shootings, thoughts and prayers. Even the phone plan is patriotic at $47.45. And any day now, the suckers who put down their non-refundable zero guarantee deposits are finally getting their hands on a piece of history. And when I say history, I mean it. The specs on this are more MySpace than AI. The $499 colored plastic box is a Wintech Revel 7 Pro G 5G that sports a 2024 MediaTek processor. Huh? Having this chip in 2026 is like buying a new Ford off the lot and finding out it has a cassette player and manual windows, but the dashboard is spray painted gold. The real kick in the tan testicles, ouch, is that it's the same white label phone T-Mobile sells for $170. That's the premium you pay to own a device that was built in a factory in China by people, let's be honest, have never even seen a blooming onion. But if it runs at all, it's on a German-owned network to prove how much you love America, the land of the free, the country you live in. Oh, but they have a call center in St. Louis. So if it breaks, you won't be using a landline to ring the Philippines. After a couple hours on hold, you'll be connected to Randy in Missouri. I'm sure he'll be taking a call or two from Lindsey Graham demanding he be upgraded to the 6947 plan right now. For 365 days, these patriots, if you even want to call them that, have been waiting for a dated device that they were told came with exclusive perks, roadside assistance. Spoiler alert, it's not going to be Lauren Boebert and Daisy Dukes. It's just a third-party insurance rider you can get for $5 a month. Now, I'm still waiting on my phone. I'm in the dare to dream phase, stuck here with a stick of butter, thinking about all the calls I will one day make. So if you get yours, let me know in the comments. Does the autocorrect change Melanie to Melody? Free and fair election to rigged? Does the phone smell like ketchup by default? And is the screensaver one of Ivanka's pool pictures? I'm just asking questions. Elon Musk, Tim Cook, even Eric Trump and his makeup lab explosion survivor wife tagged along to China, and you know the golden turd tongs weren't the only utensils transported for Donald Trump. I'm sure Eric brought a gold fork, but before Trump even got to China, his fanboys were acting like hype men.
We'll see how it goes, but if they think they're going to outmaneuver President Trump like they try to outmaneuver President Biden, there's two different characters. President Trump literally wrote the book on the art of a deal. He's the strongest leader of your and I's time period.
I don't know what cracks me up more, the strongest leader or he literally wrote the book. I mean, if you've been paying attention, because clearly the guy with the bad first name sandwich hasn't, you know Tony Schwartz is the guy who actually spent 18 months living in Trump's pocket to write the art of the deal. Schwartz has famously said Donald Trump didn't write a single page of it, not a chapter, not a sentence. Schwartz hasn't just distanced himself, he spent the last decade on like a full-blown apology tour. He's called his role in creating this myth the greatest regret of his life and described the process as putting lipstick on a pig. He's even gone so far as to call his royalty checks blood money, donating every cent to charity because of the deep sense of remorse he feels for making the man look more appealing than he actually is. In his New Yorker interview, Schwartz said, "If I were writing The Art of the Deal today, it would be a very different book. I would call it The Sociopath." Mullin isn't just factually wrong, he's quoting a sacred text that the actual author wishes didn't even exist.
Just as many Chinese now love basketball and blue jeans, Chinese restaurants in America today outnumber the 5 largest fast food chains in the United States, all combined. That's a pretty big statement. Well, President Xi, I want to thank you very much. First of all, that was an honor like few have ever seen before. And I think I was particularly impressed by those children. They were happy. They were beautiful. The military is obvious. It couldn't be better, but those children were amazing, and they represent so much. And I know they represent so much to you.
First off, adult reporters dumb, kids so impressive, beautiful. He's really got a thing, man. This is the guy that wished he could date his daughter. You know, at the whole thing, he was clapping for the kids, you know, and Tim Cook and Elon Musk are just behind him, checking their watches to see when their workforce will be getting back to their factories. Nice presentation, kiddos. Back to the Apple sweatshop. But hey, designed in California. Okay, it's just so crazy that he's in Beijing to negotiate a global trade deal and help scale back the threat of the world war that he started. And he spends his keynote speech counting how many orange chicken spots are in Ohio. In fairness, this would have been a hilarious time for him to mention, they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs. While General Tso's chicken is the staple of every American Chinese takeout menu, it is not a dish you get in China, and it's actually 100% Taiwanese. It was created in Taipei in 1955 by chef Peng Chang Kuei, a refugee who fled the mainland. He named it after a 19th century Hunanese general, but the version we know, the sweet, deep-fried one, was actually a Western makeover that happened in New York in the 70s to suit American tastes. Successfully scrubbed its Taiwanese origins to become an American favorite. Take something healthy with a bit of spice and make it into fried meat candy. He can give a TED talk on orange chicken, but the second Taiwan comes up, suddenly the man who never stops talking discovers the magic of silence.
How are your talks, sir?
Great. Great place. Incredible. China's beautiful.
特朗普总统说谈得很好。Did you talk about Taiwan, Mr. President?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, did you talk about Taiwan?
Rumdog Millionaire is back. At Kash Patel's oversight hearing, Senator Van Hollen pressed him on reports of excessive drinking and erratic behavior. Kash fired back with the classic "No you" about slinging margaritas, except the cocktails in the said photo were untouched props with perfect salt rims. They're not even margaritas. When the question hit the topic of failed polygraphs, the defense didn't change. Patel didn't deny the tests existed. He simply said the agency conducts them all the time and then accepted Van Hollen's challenge to take the audit alcohol screening test. And Kash said, "Let's go." Let's go. Like Van Hollen challenged him to a tequila fight in airport Chili's. It's a sobriety screening, not happy hour. Van Hollen posted clean results online. Kash is apparently still studying, which is alarming because the test is not the bar exam. It is basically how often do you drink and do people keep asking you to stop? And the only reason we know what happened next is because more FBI leaks came out. The guy investigating leaks has somehow become the reason everyone keeps leaking. During a trip to Hawaii, Patel was granted a private VIP snorkel excursion directly over the USS Arizona Memorial. Look, this isn't the lazy river at the MGM Grand. It's a graveyard. Like more than 900 sailors and Marines are entombed there. Regular people are not even allowed to touch the water, but Kash Patel got the VIP snorkel package. This guy? The FBI press release mentioned the boring walking tours, but somehow forgot the part where the director treated a sacred military tomb like a sandals excursion. The records were scrubbed because the agency knew the visual of the director kicking his fins over a sacred military tomb was a disaster. It is the definition of unserious, treating a site of national mourning like a resort pool while the agency tries to hide the evidence. I make this independent show on my own. If you love what I do, consider leaving me a tip, become a member for extras, hit up my referral links, and stream my stand-up on Spotify. But this isn't Trump's first venture into the cell phone market. For some time, Don Jr. has partnered with Patriot Mobile. If you haven't seen his ad, it's pretty wild.
All across the country, the president's son is totally whack, and I'm quickly getting worse by the day. Diaper Don Jr. here, guys. And like you, I'm careful when scoring party powder, and that's why I'm proud to support Guilfoyle Mobile. Whether you're Matt Gaetz Venmoing teens money to party with him or searching for a way to send messages on the day of an insurrection, I like to use burner phones from a mall kiosk on a budget provider, supporting nose candy causes and keeping dealers safe with every call that I make, all while getting the same Ivanka fantasy messages from Eric. That's because Guilfoyle was in it just for my net worth. Eric will text me some fresh Ivanka pics and I will grab a sock and lock my office door. Spicy Guilfoyle wore outfits I didn't get, and her 100% Paul Stanley in a Bon Jovi wig, George Santos as Katara look didn't always get me excited. Go to Guilfoyle Mobile, promo Dim Jr. That's DIMJR right now. Call 555-GUILFOYLE. Every activation comes with a message from Dim Jr. Ivanka picks from Eric's personal Wangfort, so make the switch today. Don't get fooled by deep fakes pretending to be our sister. Join now to support the bonehead son that grifts off of MAGA. Sign up for Guilfoyle Mobile at Diaper Don's website or find a mall kiosk now.
Trump is a god. I get why you're wowed. Like everything he touches eventually dies, goes bankrupt, or gets a subpoena. But usually gods are known for creating things. This guy has the unique ability to destroy everything he comes in contact with. That doesn't make him a deity. It just makes him an inept narcissist with a bad spray tan and a full diaper. MAGA tears. Sounds like you're on the side of the satanic left. What a Dutch bag. It's 2026 and you still believe in Satan? Really? The devil only exists in heavy metal songs and fairy tales used to scare adults who can't handle basic science. And as for being a Dutch bag, if you're going to call names, at least learn how to spell the thing your cousin wife sends you to the pharmacy for when the herbal home remedy she found on TikTok fails to clear up the family funk. MAGA tears. But the real dashboard is spray painted gold. The real kick in the tan testicles is... Kids don't need vaccines. They need tanning beds, raw milk, bear meat. roadside assistance. Spoiler alert, it's not going to be Lauren Boebert and Daisy Dukes. In fairness, this actually could have been a fitting time for him to say, they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs. There is a festival. After a couple hours on hold, you'll be connected to Randy in Missouri. I'm sure he'll be taking a call or two from Lindsey Graham complaining that there isn't a 69-47 plan. Why isn't there a... Checking their watches to see when their workforce will be getting back to their factories. It's true. Let me know in the comments. Does the autocorrect change Melanie to Melody? Free and fair election to rigged? Does the phone smell like ketchup by default? And is the screensaver one of Ivanka's pool pictures? Oh, she's so hot.
I can confirm the Tommy Campbell Show is the best political comedy show on YouTube. And I hope you subscribe.